How we doing?
Good. How are you, Coach?
Awesome. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Thanks for the birthday. It was great celebration. Staff, Jessica did some cool stuff, and then it was just kind of a low-key night at home with the family. So appreciate it.
Wonderful. Initial reactions from Tedorella specifically.
Yeah, just he looks smooth, easy to throw to. Just like we thought, and just taking him through the individual drills. I got a chance to kind of bop around between offense and defense, but in the little bit that I saw. I'll go back and watch a little bit more, but the little bit that I saw with the individual drills, you can see where the route craft and just a guy that works on his craft, comes in and ready to go. So really excited about it.
I would imagine a lot of this is learning how they learn and process information and retain. Is it too early to sort of get a sense of how that's going?
Yeah, but I mean, I think we'll have conversations with the staff to kind of see how the meetings went, because we threw a lot at them. This morning, and then just wanted to see if they can go out, line up, and execute and do those things. And it looked pretty smooth. I'm sure there'll be things that pop up, but right now, looks good.
How do you balance the evaluation for guys that are out here with the sort of like figuring out how they learn and process and things like that, for the guys that are pretty confident?
Yeah, I think it's really for us, it's giving them kind of an orientation. This weekend is about introducing them to the workflow. The field expectation we're on the grass, the tempo that we use, the energy that we go about our work, and then certainly in the classroom, just getting used to the learning style of the player, but also the coaches, the format of the meetings and how they're laid out. So it's a really big weekend for us. We're excited about getting this intro and orientation for the guys that will be here on Monday, kind of entering into the whole group.
Dave, the camaraderie building at the end, obviously the competition period. Evan Mitchell is a former QB, or Mitchell Evans, excuse me, is a former quarterback. I mean, got to see a little bit of that today.
Yeah, he was near the target, but I got to say, made the only one of the whole group. So, offense kind of won, 1 to -2. You get a minus point if you entirely miss this, 15-foot screen. So we had a couple of those, but we're excited about Mitch. He's a fantastic athlete.
Are you going to avoid laterals with Princely moving forward, just the way he?
Well, that first underhand was like right on the mark. So I don't know. Maybe there's an underarm, lateral pass that we can incorporate. So,
you guys released Clowney yesterday.
Yeah.
What went into that, and it seemed like he had a pretty decent year, though.
Yeah, a lot of things. Really appreciate JD. I mean, certainly when you watch the 2024 film, is a guy that just gave everything that he had, on the field, and so we really appreciate that. And there was a lot of, things, from a general, cap standpoint and things going forward, and about opportunity. We're developmentally minded, and we understand we bring 2, outside linebackers, 2 edge rushers in, and all those reps are valuable, and we felt like this is a time to just make sure that those guys are getting the volume of the reps and the learning that's going on.
Dave, the few times we've talked to you this offseason, you really emphasize special teams, especially deep depth. You bring in 2 guys who have a background with Tracy. How much of a competition are you trying to cultivate? Not just here, but like throughout OTAs with the bottom of the roster.
Yeah, it's huge. Guys that have exposure to pro football. We have a couple of guys who have played considerable games and covered kicks and done those things. And for us, it's like, where do they fit on our roster now? But as we all know, as we continue to finish the spring, we go into training camp. These are guys that we want to just I wanted to get to know them. Tracy to spend a little bit more time so that we can kind of broaden the pool of players as we make our decisions and start to formulate our team.
And then with that said, Ryan didn't really get to do much today, the kicker.
Yeah.
Do you plan on doing anything with him tomorrow?
So I think he did come out early and kick. Okay. And I was not out here for that, but I'll watch it right now. And Tracy said he's got a lot of power in his leg. He was accurate, and a guy that has been working with the local coach. So he's just kind of like feels at home here, and said he looked comfortable doing it. So I'm excited for that competition to make itself known to us.
Coach, what do you hope to see out of inside Aquana, Iki's brother?
Yeah, I mean, for this opportunity for him is he kind of knows this environment, he knows the city, and so he certainly feels comfortable, and saw him being confident making calls out there. So a great opportunity for him.
I think going into the day, you had all but 2 rookie contracts signed. That's pretty rare. How nice was it that, for the most part, that's taken care of, and also you anticipate those other 2 contracts being taken care of very soon?
Yeah, I think so. I know that Brant's got to go through all the process and talk with the agents, and there's all these little addendums and things that go into contracts that I'm sure they're working on. But in my history, those things get worked out. So, but I'm pleased that we got a lot of the guys signed.
One more question.
I know it's pretty big.
pretty basic out here, but did anybody that you really didn't know a lot about, like, stick out any kind of skill set that kind of sort of jumped off the page for you?
I've kind of seen most of these guys, and again, I'll go back and watch more of the individual drills to kind of just see the movement profile of a lot of the guys. But you know, the guys that we brought in from a receiver standpoint, you know, with Jacoby George, Kobe Hudson, you know, guys that, you know, that we really valued, you know, in the evaluation process. It was good to see those guys in person kind of run around, and so I was impressed with that group. It's a really strong. I told somebody, I was like, I'll go play with this group right now, you know, and we'll be all right. So, you know, involving T-Mac and of course Jimmy Horn, so, and Mitchell Evans. It was really cool to see that group out there, and Trevor in the backfield. So I'm really excited about these guys coming into the rest of the group and helping us.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thanks. All right, thank you.
All right.